Let's talk about why Farjaad is a great male romance lead.
Why is Farjaad?
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Farmeed moment?
Ooh. यार it keeps
I mean, other than the lockup is
हाँ
like
ना
a
फिर ठीक है
centerpiece.
उसको निकाल दो
But
फिर ठीक है it has to be the car scene when he like gives her the roses. I'm sorry, there's like that car that whole scene does something to me. Like Farjad in that scene is like
such a
he's amazing. So it's like, amazing. Like there is raw charisma coming out of
yeah.
that man in that one scene.
I mean,
And
to think
the
about the
way
fact, if a man ever wore clothes as tight as, as he was wearing in that scene, that was the smallest t-shirt they could have
also
found for him that would fit him.
also this dude acts like such a person I would avoid in real life.
Yeah, gets red roses, stops her in the middle of the road, steps out of a Vigo.
I have a really funny story related to this, which is कि मैंने जब ये पहली दफा देखा, I thought it was very hot the way he said मिलना है 2 मिनट, ठीक है?
यार मिलना है 2 मिनट, like so hot.
It's so hot, and I was gushing over this, and so I copied the link and I sent it to my husband, and he's like, मेरी बात सुनो, अगर तुम्हारी जिंदगी में कोई बंदा तुम्हें ये करता, तुमने उसे कहा था cousin fuck मेरे पास free हो रहा है.
Oh no, he's wearing like this, like I mean,
Yeah, it's like the whole framing of the scene, but he does it. He pulls it off, man. I don't know how he
yes,
does it.
he pull it off, but they literally found like the smallest size that could fit this man.
But I dig it, man. That scene
Yeah.
is my favorite.
And then he steps out of a Vigo with like red roses.
And honestly, मैं तुम्हें
You
एक
don't
बात बोलूं, like
this in real life. This won't
the
look good.
reason
It is
the
one of those
reason
things that only look good because like the actor pulled it off. Do not attempt.
लेकिन मैं honestly बताऊं the reason this works. It's कि we know Farjad.
Yeah.
ठीक है? We know Farjad. This is an unproblematic green
Also,
flag dude. Yeah,
he looks good.
he looks good.
Most men don't.
He looks definitely, but also like if you think about it, you know Farjad is not gonna do this with another girl.
Yeah.
He's doing this because he's in love, and he's a ridiculous fool in love, and that's what makes it hot. Like this is just a guy like overcome by love for this girl he really likes, and he's like, "Yeah, मैंने इसे आज फूल देने हैं." And that's what makes it romantic instead of creepy or weird.
My favorite for me moment is the Waleed wala nikah.
Oh really?
Yeah, जब आंखों में सारी बातें हो जाती हैं.
यार वो बहुत अच्छा सीन है, honestly.
That is such an encapsulation of Farjaad as like the ultimate romantic hero.
The perfect green flag.
The perfect green flag. That scene is like such like an encapsulation of like Farjaad's character. I was so proud of that man in that moment. I was like, and this is such a different writing choice to make.
Yeah.
Because I get the impulse of making the man a hero at the expense of the heroine.
Yeah.
Right? You want this man to be someone that everyone watching the show would say, "Mujhko ye chahiye." You know? So you want to give him the big moment. You know, of like him stepping in and saving her. This is your impulsive writing choice because you grew up with this trope of a man stepping in to save the woman.
Exactly.
The knight in shining armor is a trope.
And the interesting thing is, I always dread this trope, by the way.
Yeah.
Because the brown girl inside me is quaking, saying, "Oh my god, things are gonna go bad. Things are gonna go bad. Please मेरा हाथ ना पकड़ना in front of my parents."
That's good. It's not just the fact that he thinks he will lose her.
Yes.
When he's running,
this scene is so much more than that.
When he's running to the house, when he's in the car, he's running to the house. It's that guilt of ये मैंने क्या कर दिया है.
ये मैंने क्या
किया. I complained about her. She told me this would happen. I did not believe her. वो फंस गई है.
And like he brushes it off, right, when she says कि आपकी वजह से मेरी उस माकूल के साथ हो रही है, and he's like, ये वो क्या फिर से अपनी कहानियां लेके आ गई है.
Yeah. And like I like the fact that like the distrust they show in Farjaad is not unfounded. He knows this girl lies.
Yeah.
He knows this girl lies. You know?
Yeah.
So when he kind of like shrugs it off, and also that this girl sorts her problems. Like वो पहले दिन से जब से उससे मिली वो कह रही मेरा बाप मेरी इस वर्ष से शादी करा दे, मेरा बाप मेरी इस वर्ष से शादी करा, मेरा बाप मेरी this time she said मेरा बाप से शादी करा, it's like अच्छी बात है.
The funny thing is that she says this in the middle of many other lies.
Yeah.
Even though like this one thing is like like constant throughout. She's not lying about this constantly because he
Yeah.
is always trying to marry her off,
Yeah.
right? That's
Yeah.
not unfounded.
No, but like the first time he meets her, she
Yeah.
tells him the same story. को मेरी जबरदस्ती शादी करा रहे हैं,
Yeah.
you know. And
Yeah.
then like this time in the elevator when this thing happens, she's like, "Yo, मेरी जबरदस्ती शादी करा रहे हैं." He takes that pause.
Yeah.
And then he shrugs it off and goes like, "अच्छी बात है मैं भी ये करता." Because he doesn't truly believe it will go through. You
Ah.
know, he has not let it happen. She also lies. Like it's not like a distrust of someone who doesn't trust this girl. It's a distrust of
Yeah.
someone who's seen her lie.
हाँ,
You know,
see her
नहीं
lie
होगा.
and also he's like यार इसकी कौन जबरदस्ती कर सकता है.
Yeah.
There's also that kind of thing. यार ये
Yeah.
कुछ कर लेगी ऐसे ही अब बोल रही है. Yeah.
So when he's rushing to her house, there is also that guilt of, man, I fucked up with this one. Like, you know, I shouldn't have. I
Yeah.
shouldn't have done this. She was
Yeah.
warning him not to.
Exactly.
Which is great because you see Farjaad make a mistake, which is an honest
Yes.
mistake that
Yeah.
anyone could have made in that moment.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It gives him like the space to be wrong, but also not mess up to a point where it's irredeemable.
It's unforgivable.
Yeah.
And in that moment, in that car, he's immediately called out. Mimi immediately goes like, ये सब आपकी
Yes.
शिकायत की वजह से हो रहा है, आप क्यों
And
शिकायत लगा
it's so important that he's called out by someone not Umeed.
by someone not Mimi. Mimi being like कि मतलब ये सब आपकी शिकायतों की वजह से हो रहा है. Mimi gets
Exactly.
mad at
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
She's not sympathetic. She's mad. He has this
Yeah.
moment where like, मेरी बहन हो, उसकी बहन हो, किसकी साइड पे हो तुम?
हाँ. And she's like आपने गलती की है मतलब
हाँ.
I'm not gonna like tell you you're right.
Yeah. And then he reaches home. He knows he's already fucked up. He meets Haya at the door.
Yeah.
Haya tells him कि पैसों के लिए शादी कर रहा है. He tells him everything. He goes inside. Any man, any show, not even a Pakistani show, like literally most shows.
Yeah,
He would
any
have
show, yeah.
and he's like, पाशा साहब वो पैसों के लिए शादी कर रहा है, उसको ना like ये शादी ना करवाएं.
Exactly. Yep.
And if he would have made that call उस वक्त, पाशा साहब would have also heeded it,
Yes.
right? But he's coming in from a place of guilt that I fucked this up. I haven't.
Yes.
मैंने इस लड़की की बात नहीं सुनी. And now he's looking for her to tell him what to do.
Yeah.
He's not intervening without asking her मैं क्या करूं. He's already done that once. He's seen the consequences.
Yeah, he's like अब नहीं मैंने ये करना. Exactly.
And now he's waiting for this girl to tell him what to do. He keeps looking at her, not, I mean, of course he's pining and it's longing and all of that, but he's also looking at her in the sense of like when there's complete chaos around them, they maintain eye contact in like this assured way of like both of us know what's happening here.
Huh.
Like I'm waiting for a
and this is when like officially now they're a team, right?
Yeah, now
they're a team.
Yeah, this is where they're a team. वो उसको तैयार करने ले जाते हैं, वो उसको वापस लेके आते हैं, मतलब क्या कहते हैं, वो उसके पैर पे पैर रखती है, like पैर तो पीछे करे. I love this girl so much. Like, पैर तो पीछे करे.
I love it. I literally, the scene was so serious and this happened and I just laughed. I was like, yeah. You know what? I love it. Like, I love it. I'm falling in love with her again.
I love the fact that she could have been crying in this moment.
She's not beaten down. Yeah. She's like, अच्छा तुम करोगे तो मैं भी तुम्हें साथ ही लेके जाऊंगी. And she's scaring him. She's actively scaring him off and I love it. She's like, ये आपकी जिंदगी होनी है बेटा, बैठ जाओ.
And then she's like, मैंने इससे बात करनी है. And Pasha Saab says no. And it takes like one look towards Farjaad and Farjaad steps in. Because he knows he can convince the dad of whatever she wants him to do.
Yeah.
He said शादी ना कराए. Doesn't say that. He says उसके जो concerns हैं उसको clear करने दें. I think it's fair enough. Right?
Yeah.
She goes out. Farjaad knows this girl needs like 5 minutes with this boy and she'll scare him off. Like he knows. He's so proud of her. Like when she comes
so proud of her. It's like a very that's my girl moment.
When she comes back and she's like, Waleed को आपसे कुछ कहना है, and he's like, मैंने ये शादी नहीं करनी. Farjaad is like smirking, like, and that's the smirk of a person who knows exactly what this girl is capable of, and he loves her for it.
Yeah.
This is why he has fallen in love with her, because he can take this capacity of like this personality of this girl.
He's like, I went like 20 rounds with her and I still survived.
20 rounds with this girl, I know exactly what she's capable of. मैं इसके सामने नहीं टिक सका, तुमने क्या टिका?
Right? And I was like, मैं तो फिर कर लेता हूँ, फिर वापस आ जाता हूँ, तुम्हारी पहली दफा में बस हो गई है.
And like, I'll come to that later, but like, it's And then when she says, and like Pasha Saab is like, "Kya kaha hai tumne usse?" And this girl just like innocently shrugs, like, "Kya ho sakta hai? Like, what are you going to do? Go call him back?" Like he peeks back to see कि वो चला गया कि नहीं चला गया, because like Farjad is a little baby at heart. He peeks back to
Yes,
see
he
कि वो
did.
गया है कि नहीं गया है. Now when like her friends know what Farjad has done, Mimi is like, भाई
Yeah.
बहुत परेशान थी गाड़ी में. Like वो क्या कहते हैं, Hayaz like क्या हीरो की तरह एंट्री मारी थी, right? You know what Farjad has done. The Umeed knows what Farjad has done.
Yeah.
But despite all of that, Umeed has like the script gives Umeed the agency to say मैंने हराया इसको. Like
हाँ, and it gives her like the standing to be like मैंने ये भी खत्म करा लिया, मैं बाकी भी खत्म
ये
करवा
खत्म
दूंगी,
करा
right?
लूंगी. Exactly. Like this is a girl who did everything she could to avoid this rishta.
Yes.
In the penultimate moment, Farjad will not take her glory away.
Yes.
This is her
Exactly.
struggle. She's won out. She's like used the help of a man who loves her to win out, maybe. But this is her
Yeah.
story. She's the
Also,
protagonist of the story. She rescued herself.
exactly. Also, like let's like also talk about the fact that people keep saying, "Oh my God, what's so special in Farjad, especially men."
मेरी बात
Like,
सुनो यार.
why do you think there is like a specific like? Let's talk about us, right? You and me, and like all the people who have fallen in love with this drama, who usually don't watch this content. Why do you think we are all pining over this man? It's because
और
we
हमें क्यों?
see a guy it's because we see a guy who takes into consideration things that we need people to take into consideration. He respects her opinion. He pauses before he thinks. He understands the consequences on her life, right?
Yeah.
Like like the whole charging in as a knight of shining armor might work for some people, but honestly, I live in trauma and fear that this
No, it's
sort of
not
stuff
even
might happen.
trauma. It's not even trauma. Like I'm tired of making this excuse. But no, it's it's gratifying watching a
Yeah,
woman be the protagonist of her own story.
of her own story.
And
Yeah.
this is what a man's love can look like, when he can be
Yes.
perfectly okay being the support she needs and not the
Huh.
hero.
Yeah,
She gets to
while
live
also
her
while
story.
also keeping his own personality.
By also
Like this,
being, at no point do you look at Farjad and think he's not man enough. At no point do you look at
yeah,
Farjad and think ke matlab, like he doesn't have Farjad any moment that he's with Umeed. He's a
yeah,
man you would want.
yes,
He's
exactly.
he's very desirable. He's
And
very desirable
he's
without
desirable but not
being
unapproachable.
in the room.
Yeah, but like उसके अंदर वो unapproachable vibe नहीं है कि this guy is like
He has
this
this
guy is so full of
dignity to him.
yes, it's a
He
silent dignity the kind of
like,
thing. It's not a
I will go back to this. The reason, like, and I'm not comparing Farjad or Hamza Sohail to Shah Rukh Khan, because that would be sacrilegious. Okay. No one Shah Rukh Khan, no one compares. But the reason people say no one romances like Shah Rukh romances is not because Shah Rukh is the hero in every moment. It's because Shah Rukh, as a male lead, has the capacity to become the butt of the joke. He
yes.
can
I
appear
get that.
stupid in front of a woman. He is
Yeah,
not scared to be stupid in front of a woman. He can be stupid
yes,
in front of her, and that shows you. I know it sounds counterintuitive, but stay with me. A man who is okay with a woman laughing at him is a man who's confident
yes,
enough. He's
exactly.
secure in his masculinity enough to have
Huh?
a woman who can laugh at him.
Yeah,
The fact
yeah.
that the boy will chase this girl down the stairs, lie to her
Mm.
about the fact that lift nahi chal rahi, get caught in that lie, and smile about it.
हाँ, he's like हाँ मैंने किया है so
That's charming.
their whole thing where like he hands her the roses and is like this is for past misunderstandings and she's like कुछ और भी जुर्माना लगेगा. He doesn't get embarrassed like oh my god this wasn't good enough. He's like अच्छा चलो
इंडिया
लंच पे चलते हैं.
लिफ्ट में फंसे हुए होते हैं, एंड शी इज लाइक कोई कोई लिफ्ट खराब नहीं होती, सारे बहाने हैं मेरे साथ टाइम गुजारने के लिए. ही
He
डजंट हिट
doesn't say no.
लाइक तुमने आपको समझ के
Yeah,
लिया हो,
yeah,
विच नॉर्मल, विच इज बैंटर.
yeah.
बैंटर यही है ना कि वो कहेगी यू वांट मी, इज लाइक नो आई डोंट वांट यू.
I don't
लाइक
want you. तुम्हें क्या है तुम्हारी शक्ल कैसी है.
ही डजंट रिस्पॉन्ड टू दैट. ही नोस शी इज राइट. उसने पिछली बार झूठ बोला था.
Yeah.
right? And then when he's thinking back at it, he doesn't smile, he straight up laughs.
Yeah.
He laughs when he's thinking back at it. वो अपने कमरे में अकेले बैठ के अपने कॉन्फ्रेंस रूम में सोच रहा होता है, and he's laughing. He's Farjaad is okay to come across as someone who wants this girl, as someone who can be stupid about it.
Also, he's like, I was watching that episode right before this call. But like that moment when he like comes in, right? And like उसने अभी पेंटिंग देखी और वो मीत को देखने जा रहा है, वो एंटर होते ही he says, क्या करें, आपका ख्याल ही नहीं जा रहा था, तो मैंने कहा तो खुद आ जाओ. And she does not engage with him on that, right? But he's not embarrassed and he doesn't say अच्छा मतलब ठीक है ऐसा करके,
No,
like तो तुम जैसी वो तुम जैसी लड़कियों को तुम मुंह लगा दो तो nothing like that. It's just like
उस वक्त तो
slowly keep
love
the
with her.
banter going.
उस वक्त तो he's in love with. उस वक्त तो he knows she likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back in the day, even when he's mad at her, like he's doing these stupid things of like Mimi घर पे नहीं है, रास्ते में coffee shop आती है, हम चाय पी लेंगे. Like he starts off so like हाँ रास्ते में कॉफी शॉप आती है, आप ये वहां बैठ के मेरे साथ सेटल करें. शीज लाइक मैं कॉफी नहीं पीती है. He's like हाँ तो हम चाय पी लेंगे. Desperate to get like 5 minutes with her. Like that time when like he calls her and he's like कौन बात कर रहा है? And he realizes it's her. And like she's about to hang up on him. He makes a joke at his own expense to keep her on call longer.
Yeah.
Like when she's just like like when he realizes that she's annoyed at the fact that he hasn't saved her number. Like he teases her about the fact that फिर आपका number delete कर दूं.
Yeah.
And what do you want me to do? Do you want me to delete your number? Should I not save it? Then he makes a like joke on his own expense to keep her on call for like 2 minutes longer. She tells him time निकाल के मर जाए. He tells him time निकाल के मर जाए. He hangs up the call. He laughs.
Yeah.
Like this is like he was okay with bantering with this woman. It's not about his ego, and he's not doing it because he wants to sleep with her.
Also, like
it's not on the table right now.
And but like I'm gonna say this like बहुत डर के, but like I love फवाद खान. ठीक है, मैंने like पिछली deleted वाली podcast में कहा था.
मैं तो कुछ
but like it's okay. I don't get as many people in my DMs as you. Ha, I'm safe.
I mean, we'll tag together on this one, but okay, go.
Sorry everyone. I love Fawad Khan. And I've said this before. Fawad Khan's chemistry with his lead, like female lead, amazing, sizzling. I love it. And again, I'm gonna go back to like the fact that Humsafar mein what worked was like the way he looked at like Khirat and like Mahira's character. And like you could see like this man enjoys like being in love. He enjoys being in love with this woman and everything. And like that's why his chemistry also works, like, right? That's why he's able to like romance any character on screen and you will believe it. You will believe this man is in love. But having said that, Fawad Khan's characters usually do not have that capacity to laugh at themselves.
They're never seen.
They have to have the live, laugh, love kind of female lead who, like, I'm talking about Humsafar, obviously, not Zindagi Guzara, but he has that live, laugh, love kind of like person who will drag him into the rain and he's like, like this tarah karke, like reluctantly being.
No, you can't imagine Fawad Khan going home and dancing after his first date.
Exactly. Like,
wait for that.
Yeah, and at one point you're like, you know what, like,
again,
I feel
no
like
one's saying Hamza Sohail is better than Fawad Khan.
No one. I promise. I'm not saying that. I
Talking
love
about
Fawad Khan.
characters they play.
I think Fawad Khan has like a charm that I have seen very less in like generalities.
He has like the straight up like Prince Charming features. Like
he does, and even in his like interviews, like the way he talks, it feels like you are the only person in the room. You are the only person he's focusing on, and it's amazing. Like I think he does great there. And I feel like if given the chance,
epitome of masculine beauty can be like like
yes, exactly. He's a very masculine kind of like wo. But having said that, I feel like he does have the capacity to be in a role where he can laugh at himself. He's just not given those roles, right? And that's what I'm saying, right? Promise, guys, I'm not saying he like anyone is.
इतनी तो तारीफ की है हमने Fawad Khan.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like I wish Fawad Khan's characters would get that instead of anger. Like he keeps getting angry.
I think he did that in Akbari Asghari, na? I think that is
Acha,
where his role was a little silly. Yeah.
I haven't seen that
But
one.
yeah, that is where his role was a little silly. But like, I mean,
Okay.
also it was like a very kind of like uncouth kind of a role. So, matlab,
Yeah, like I think he has the capacity. Like he has
yeah.
the capacity to laugh at himself. He's just not written that
No,
way. But
this
I'm just like bringing it back to
Farjad.
not
Farjad versus.
Fawad. Yeah, not Fawad versus Hamza Sohail. This is more of a
Farjad versus
Usher
popular male
Usher
heroes.
versus Farjad, right? Like not even Usher, but like characters like Usher, right?
Yeah.
That's why like at one
But
point I'm like, yeah, I'm
it was
tired of one side.
dignified to. Farjad isn't embarrassed about being loved.
Yes, exactly. Like I'm tired. Like maybe it's the age.
No,
Maybe it's
because
being
it's
26
not
and
just
being
it's
like
not
I
just
am.
in our it's not just in our context that this is how we regularly show a romance between a man and a woman,
Yeah.
where a
Huh.
woman
Exactly.
enjoys love
Yeah.
and a man is too proud to express it. Like
Yeah.
even when he's expressing it, you know,
Yes.
the response is from the woman.
Yeah.
You don't see a man blush.
Yeah.
You don't see a man dancing after his first date.
Like this is by the way like something that I think K dramas get really right, like done like really right. They are not afraid of showing their male leads in love. Like
Yeah.
there was one I watched where like he comes back from a date and like his date, like the girl he likes sends him like a cute Snapchat video and he watches it in bed and he giggles, right? And he's like rolling around like blush. And this is a very hot guy, by the way, who's like the CEO of his company and like he's in bed and he's like giggling over this girl sending him a Snapchat video. And it's such a pure kind of moment that when I was watching it, I was feeling secondhand embarrassment of a kind because I'm not used to this.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's
what
a
I'm saying.
nice kind of thing.
Rashad as a character, and it's not the last 6-7 episodes when they're
Yeah,
dating only work because you've set Farjad up to be someone who has the like who's believably क्या कहते हैं
exactly.
emotional.
Yeah,
You take someone like say Murtasim
yeah.
and you make him dance after he comes back home from like his first date with Meera. You'd be like, इसको क्या हो गया?
I'm
You know,
sorry, that's such a
you've never
funny
shown.
image.
We think emotional vulnerability is a man crying.
Yeah, it is not. That is not it. That is not what we're looking for.
That's not what vulnerability is. Vulnerability is a man who will trip into a room because he's so unbalanced at the idea कि इस लड़की की शादी किसी और से हो जाएगी.
It's a man who's so annoyed that he steps back and falls and says, "इस मनूस लड़की को दूर करो मेरे से."
Who's desperate, who's like क्या कहते हैं like he's in love with this girl, she pushes him down the stairs and he's like तुम क्या फिर हड्डी पसलियां भी तोड़ना शुरू हो गई like
He's
सब
like,
कुछ तो
पहले तुम चीजें तोड़ती थी, अब तुम
तुम
हड्डी
हड्डी
पसली
पसली भी
तोड़.
तोड़नी like क्या यार. But like when she holds him up and looks at like as long as she's holding his hand he doesn't feel the pain.
Yeah,
The moment she
it's
lets him
like
go it comes to him that
that's
he's
why
hurting.
that's why I'm saying like cliches done right work.
Yeah,
But
like
they
I
need
mean
to be done right.
it's a man who can dance after his first date.
Yeah,
You know, like vulnerability is a man who will blush so hard because this girl is looking at him with so much love, you
exactly.
know, that he can't make eye contact with her.
Yeah,
Because we always show men as all very forthcoming when it comes to romance and like sexuality.
yeah.
You know, it's
And
the woman who's shy and demure as if she
it's
has
not
something
a
to lose.
it's not a forthcoming that's like I enjoy being in love forthcoming. It's more
No,
of a
it's more
I
of
know
a
what I'm doing.
no, it's
I know
more
what
of
I'm
a
doing.
I know what I'm doing. It's more of a
Huh.
I can like, you know, like unbalance you a little bit with how good of a friend I am.
Exactly. Exactly.
He's not that.
That is
He
amazing.
blushes under the gaze, like under her loving gaze.
Also,
He
like
can't
by
make
the
eye
way,
contact with her because
huh? Because,
he's so taken by her in that
yeah.
moment where she's unabashedly gazing at him. And it doesn't happen just in the car, it also happens in the OST.
And the like the fun thing is that the flirt here is Umid. Umid is the bigger flirt who's in
Umeed is
control.
a bigger flirt than him. Like,
Like,
because Farjad is so expressive in love and we don't see men who are
yeah.
expressive in love, we think this is Farjad.
Huh.
Umeed says to Haya कि वो जितना slow है उसको साल लग जाएगा उसको propose करने में.
Huh. Huh. Like she's very in touch with her emotions. And like all of like when she says like she's the first person to make like that kind of like comment, like आपके भी दिल का दिमाग खराब हो गया है
Forget
मेरी
आपके
तरह.
दिल का दिमाग खराब हो गया. She is getting him a personalized painting because out of just sheer fondness.
Also like her whole dress, like also we did not discuss this in the aesthetic choices. But like the way she dresses, like with the over the top white dress, that is not an Umeed dress, by the way. That is a very I'm impressing someone kind
Yeah,
of
that
dress.
is a very I am going to my crush's birthday party. I
Yes,
need him to notice me dress.
I need to be different. She curls her hair. We never before or after this see Umeed with curled hair, by the way.
Yeah,
Like she
she
has wavy
curls
hair,
her
but
hair. She's like
curled hair.
looking for lip gloss. She's like, like she's asking her cousin, "Do I look okay?"
Huh. And
Like
she's like,
she,
walking
like
in with
when
this like
like
painting.
Farjad looks at her and he looks at his mom and is like, "आप लोग इतना तैयार क्यों हैं?" She's looking तैयार enough for him to go like, "आप लोग इतना तैयार क्यों हैं?" Like आप लोग कहीं जा रहे हैं, आप लोग इतना तैयार क्यों हैं? Like like I mean, which is why also that scene works, right? Like when
Yeah.
he says bye to Reena and he pointedly doesn't say bye to her, you know why she's hurting. She
Yeah.
wanted today to go well
Because she
for him.
wanted
She
like him to
wanted his
notice her.
attention today.
She wanted to impress him, like
She
properly,
not
like
just she
impress him.
wanted to impress him, she wanted him to notice her. She got him
Yeah.
like her favorite she got him a personalized painting. She like wanted him to notice her. When he comes in, doesn't say hi, walks in, she's like normal banda जो सलाम करता है. ऐसे मुंह उठा के अंदर नहीं चला जाता. Like
And also she keeps trying to get his attention in different ways, right? When she walks in, she's like, "आप कह रहे थे मैं बहुत बोलती हूँ,"
yeah,
and he's like,
yeah,
क्यों आप नहीं बोलती? And like she's like, "Look at me." It's like a look at me, like
yeah.
acknowledge me kind
No,
of situation.
also like this is so when he walks away, like he's like कि मैं fresh होके आता हूँ, वो bathroom में चला जाता है,
Hmm.
right? He doesn't like he leaves her there.
Yeah.
He isn't giving her the attention she wants in
Yeah.
that moment. He
Yeah.
walks away from her. She doesn't look back to see that he did step back out.
Yeah.
And he उसको चाय देने आता है. Farjad sees that gets hurt. She walks
Yeah.
away from that scene. Farjad never sees कि उसने वो चाय नहीं ली.
Yeah.
You know, like the constant push and pull only works because you've seen Umeed wanting to be happy in this moment, and it is not
Also,
working out the way she
it
wants.
it also works because they don't drag it out that
No,
much.
no,
It has an eventual okay, now they have accepted and now
yeah,
there's no more push and pull. ठीक
yeah,
है, एक दफा आपने accept कर लिया फिर push and pull नहीं होनी चाहिए.
yeah, yeah. And also like that scene where that is such like a you've been there. You've been there where you dressed well to impress a boy
Yeah.
and it didn't go to plan.
Yeah.
You know exactly what Umeed is going through right now.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, so it's such a good like that dynamic between them. The fact that like it's not just वो वहां से चला गया और उम्मीद मतलब क्या कहते हैं like उम्मीद is left standing there because he's mad at her. He steps out. He
Like
sees
every
her get chai
like
by Nikhe. The look on Farjad's face, he's so sad. He's
yeah.
so heartbroken. It's his birthday. He's seeing this girl he has a crush on being flirted by this more likable person.
Yeah, like
He
both of
steps
them
back in.
tried to take a step
Yeah,
and it
step
failed
forward. Did
horrifically.
not work out. He steps back in. He pointedly says bye to Reena because he's mad at Umeed. Does not acknowledge her.
Yeah.
And Umeed, whose entire plan today was to get noticed by this boy, doesn't see it. But it's
Yeah.
Umeed who gets him that painting that unlocks Farjad.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like Umeed gets him a painting. जब वो उसको सीढ़ियों से भी नीचे छोड़ने जाता है, it's because Umeed got him a gift.
Yeah.
That's जब वो आता है तो वो कहता है हाँ सारी फजूल बच्चा हाँ सारी दुनिया की सारी अहम काम छोड़ के आप मेरी जो है ऐसे फजूल काम करने आएंगे इसलिए आप मुझे सॉरी बोलने आए थे आप फजूल काम करने आए थे you know
हाँ.
she hands him a phone. This is a millionaire businessman. It's been ages since she broke his phone.
उसने दूसरे दिन ही ले लिया होगा.
उसने दूसरा फोन ले लिया है. But he's so happy that someone noticed he needs something and got it for
हाँ.
him.
And
He's
it's like
not too proud to accept that gift. He's not like
exactly.
उसको
And
गिरने
he's excited. He's so like really excited about it. He's like, this is my gift now.
yeah
Like you can't take it back.
वो
ये
उसको
मेरी
गिफ्ट
चीज है.
देती है. At no point does he go like उम्मीद I have a phone.
Yeah.
आपसे किसने कहा फोन
And
लाने को?
also like he could even say like ये किस चीज के लिए, like the normal dialogue would be ये क्या है, and she would
Yeah.
be like phone जो मैं आपको गिराया था वो तो मैंने उसी वक्त replace कर लिया था. He can say, but the way his face lights up, like
No, also
आपको शुरू में ही आता है.
no, also like there was this choice of making this condescending, right? कि अच्छा आप मेरे लिए
Exactly.
लाई है तो मैं ले लेता हूँ.
Exactly. वही ना, लेकिन that's not what he says. He says, अच्छा, nice. And it's
Yeah,
such a
right?
pure
And
moment.
it's
Like,
also not just nice when she goes like मेरी घड़ी कहाँ है? He gets scared to tell her कि वो उसने वापस
yeah,
कर दी थी. कि वो उसने
because
वापस करा दी
like
थी.
he has this like embarrassed like moment, right? Where
No,
he's like,
also because he's scared how will she react to this,
yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And then she snatches her phone back and he snatches it back from her. And he's like मेरा दूसरा
हाँ, like
घर हुआ था.
हाँ,
And she's like,
because
वो
he
मुझे
knows
ये
कि like
करेगी,
this is a gift from her and like
मेरी आखिरी निशानी थी, मेरा नुकसान ज्यादा बड़ा था. And that is when he
exactly,
relents and let her keep the phone because he knows he fucks
yeah,
up on that.
yeah,
But
and he did.
yeah, and he did. But like, like the fact that you show from the very beginning, Farjad is someone who's tender.
Huh, he's not a jerk for no reason. Like he's not an asshole for no reason,
And
right?
he's not constantly in control of every
Yeah,
situation. He gets pushed into a pool by this girl. You know, he screams for his mother when that happens.
he gets pushed into a pool and then poked with a stick.
To get poked with a stick, pushed into a pool, she destroys his documents. She like her like like she क्या कहते हैं उसकी गाड़ी वो ठोक देती है, उसके घर में चीजें वो तोड़ तोड़ दो, सब तोड़ दो. उसकी घर में चीजें वो तोड़ देती है. उसमें उसमें इस बात का वो लगाती है कि आप मुझे वो एक के थ्रू मुझे मैसेजेस भिजवा रहे हैं, वो सब कुछ करती है. एंड लाइक व्हाट आई रियली लाइक अबाउट द फैक्ट इज लाइक me is made to apologize for everything she does.
Yeah,
She's always apologetic. Not
yeah,
like not like I mean, even if she's not like I mean she's not always apologetic. She's always expected to be apologetic.
yeah,
That's what people dislike about like her. ना कि like
yeah.
वो माफी नहीं मांगती,
Huh.
right? The first time, and this is also one of my very underrated like for Jadumid moments. I don't know why people don't love it as much as I do. Initially, when she destroys his things, he relents
Yeah.
क्योंकि वो जिद्दी इतनी है कि इससे कौन बहस करे.
Huh.
Then
Yeah.
he starts relenting because he's fond of her.
Yeah.
Then he starts relenting because he loves her.
Yeah.
That is a dynamic they have. She apologizes to him once at the very end. मेरी भी गलती थी.
Yeah.
उससे
हाँ,
पहले वो
उससे
सिर्फ
पहले वो she never says it.
thought of him apologizing to her. जब वो फोन
हाँ,
लेके आती है तो कहती है उसने मुझसे माफी मांगी, अगर वो इतना मेहरबान हो रहा तो मैं भी हो सकती हूँ. Also because she likes the attention, तो
हाँ,
उससे मिलने जा रही होती है. ठीक है. But
yeah,
like the only time she sincerely apologizes to him is at the very end
yeah,
जब वो उससे माफी मांगता है.
mm,
Right?
yeah, exactly.
उससे पहले that scene where she's running in his house, his laptop falls down. She drops her book. She, that is so clearly her fault that even she knows this is my fault.
Yeah.
That's why she drops her book. ताकि she has something to argue with him about. Like मेरी किताब गिरा दिया. मेरी किताब गिर गई. मेरी भी तो किताब गिर गई है. He's just
He's
like
like laptop और किताब की एक ही वैल्यू
लैपटॉप
है.
से महंगी किताब, लैपटॉप से ज्यादा महंगी किताब थी ना आपकी. It's like क्या और मैं तुमसे नहीं टकराया, तुम मुझसे टकराई थी. It's like हाँ फोन पे तुम उठा के बाद मैं कर रही यार, मैं पूरा ड्रामा बना रिसाइट कर रही हूँ. फोन पे मुंह उठा के फोन पे बात तो मैं कर रही थी ना. And then at one point she goes like मेरी सारी सुबह खराब कर दी. And he
Yeah.
just goes, अच्छा, I am sorry.
Same.
You know.
And also like that scene where she hits his car, right?
Yeah.
And he like opens the door and he like smiles at her and like बाहर आइए. He's like like
बाहर आती जरा.
कर
She's
दिया
like,
अपने आप. आइए बाहर आप.
आती नहीं, like बाहर निकलो.
And then even after that, right? He's like, what? ये हो तो गया है, नुकसान तो हो गया है. अब एक काम करते हैं.
अब सेटल है. हमें जब
ऐसे कॉफी
तक
शॉप
सेटल है. And she's like, मैं कॉफी नहीं
पीएंगे.
पीऊंगी, चाय पी लेंगे. हम चाय पी लेंगे.
And the way he says like, तो चाय पी लेते हैं. And it's like,
he starts off like so like ये मेरे साथ कॉफी शॉप चल के सेटल करें. And she's like मैं कॉफी
हाँ.
नहीं पीती. And he's like हम चाय पी लेंगे. चलो तो सही. हम चाय पी लेंगे. Which is why when like she comes to when he comes to her house that day
Yeah.
after finding out she likes him, and she's like तबीयत ठीक है आपकी? And he's like कमर में दर्द है आपकी वजह से.
आपकी वजह से.
He's going to deny it.
हाँ. But he does it on purpose. Like you can see it in his face. Like he's doing this just to rile her up.
Yeah, he's doing it just so she could say मेरी गलती नहीं थी.
हाँ.
He could lovingly say अच्छा ठीक है.
ठीक है. हाँ, like the way he says अच्छा
ठीक है.
It's like like everything like
dynamic. He's going to apologize to her for the rest of her life for all the mistakes she makes.
Like he even like has this sincere. How many times have we seen a male lead sit down without a big thing happening and just be like, "Yeah, I'm sorry."
Do you know how many
everything
voice
I've
notes I got that day from different women just being like, I didn't even realize Farjaad had anything to apologize for. So many people were just like, यार पता है जब तक उसने माफी मांगी नहीं थी ना, I didn't even think he should apologize for it.
Like because you were like एक push and pull situation चल रही है, दोनों लड़ी जा रहे हैं, right? But he realizes कि यार especially the घड़ी thing was a big
the
thing.
घड़ी thing, the शिकायतें thing,
The शिकायतें thing which
also
got her
the fact
almost
that no
married off.
matter what their fight was, मैं बदतमीजी से बात करता था इससे,
Yeah, and he knows that.
मुझे नहीं करना
And
चाहिए था.
that's why like वो बाद में भी like मजाक से कहते हैं हाँ तो बिल्कुल आपका कसूर था, मैंने तो पहले कभी किसी लड़की से मिलने नहीं. Oh
That's why
God, we have
Farjaad
this so
works
learned by
as a
heart.
male lead. It's of course it's all the charming things he does. Of course it's the
Yeah,
flowers, and of course it's the
but the
it's the
flowers and
enthusiasm
everything
sale. Of
only
course it's the
work.
fact that like क्या कहते हैं, he's like मतलब he's genuinely like a very desirable man on screen.
But that only also works because like honestly like we have a lot of actors that are very attractive people who have like a lot of chemistry, but they don't work because
Are
like
more
we
attractive
don't
than
like
him.
them as people.
Like there are actors who are better looking than him. Like that's not
Yeah, yeah, and like who might even arguably be able to have more chemistry or anything like that. But but the thing is that they're not good, like their characters aren't good people the same way this man
no,
is a
not
good
just
man.
being good, right? It's just you have simultaneously showed a man who is dignified.
Yeah,
Everyone respects him,
yeah,
right? The way he talks is very, he commands respect when he enters a room.
yeah,
Like he's the um grounding force for Umid.
yeah.
Like he's that person.
Hmm.
He's the क्या कहते हैं, he's the force that kind of like that can withstand Umid.
Yeah.
He has that
It's sunshine grum done right without leaning too much into either trope.
not just Sunshine Grum done right. Like he has the like when you show your female lead as a strong character
Yeah,
and then you show a male lead who has the capacity to love her,
to love her.
that
Yeah,
grants so much dignity to the man,
it does.
right? He doesn't need to make this woman small so he can feel big.
Huh.
His kind of like presence comes from the fact that he can withstand the force that this girl is.
And it's
He can
not
love her.
done. And the thing is, a lot of people confuse this with like, the guy then has to be a more extreme version of the girl to be able to handle it. That's not what you need to do. You
He
need
has
to
to
be
be
able to
the
balance
flip
her
side
out.
of that coin. He
Exactly.
has
He
the
needs to be able to,
the
he has to be
reason
the
the reason like
calmness that
right.
the wave, like,
So, I mean, of course, it's like the flop, like the stupid hair and like the stupid dialogues and everything. But क्या कहते हैं, वलीद और फरजाद में
yeah,
in their personalities और AK और फरजाद में like in their personalities, the big difference is the fact that like Farjad has the capacity to love Umeed for who she is.
yeah, which is
Umeed
why
is
the
a very
finale
big
bothers me.
personality. Like you can argue she's hard to love.
Yeah.
Not very many people can. उसकी family नहीं कर पा रही उससे मोहब्बत.
ऑडियंस नहीं कर पा रही थी सही
Audience
से.
नहीं कर पा रही उससे मोहब्बत.
That's why the Umeed defense squad exists.
This
She's
exists.
not an easy person to love.
Farjad has a personality big enough to expand around Umeed.
Yeah.
You need to make Umeed shrink.
And it's not even like, okay, he's overcoming her or anything. No, no, it's more like he's coming around, like
It's like if
around
she's
and
a hurricane, he's the wall she hits that doesn't break.
yes, like I was like, if she's the wave, then he's the rock that the wave crashes against,
Crashes
right?
against, right? He doesn't break.
Huh.
At the same time, like he's that person who can also laugh at himself.
Yeah.
He's kind and tender. He's like, अरे आओ जान, मुझे पता है ना आपके घर का रास्ता. Like
Exactly. Yeah.
he'll call Mimi beta. Like like there is that one scene which is so brother sisterly. Where like she's saying कि मुझे उम्मीद के घर जाना है मायू पे या क्या उसकी cousin मायू बैठी है मुझे वहां जाना है.
Yeah.
And he's like मैं 9 बजे तुम्हें छोड़ दूंगा, like 8:55 पे वहां पहुंच जाएंगे. And she's just like भाई तब तक तो सब खत्म हो जाएगा. And he's like बेटा जाना है ना. It's an older brother younger sister relationship. बेटा जाना है ना.
The best part is कि उसके साथ he's very calmly saying जाना है ना, and then he overhears Umeed saying हाँ मेरी वजह से नहीं ला रहा होगा, and he's like, you know what, आ जाओ मैं तुम्हें अभी लेके जाता हूँ.
No,
And like
also the fact that like she has this thing of मैं cab में चली जाऊंगी. He's like मैं छोड़ दूंगा.
हाँ,
Like,
he's like मैं
she's
तुम्हें
like
यहाँ पे ले
8:55 भाई 8:55 तक तो सब खत्म हो जाएगा. He's like बेटा जाना है ना. Like that is such like a brother sisterly
It
relationship.
is, yeah.
Like Like he has this way, like love you ma,
Yeah.
hi ma, ma abhi bhi naraz hai, like
Huh.
those things. Like he's gentle from the
He's
first
not
moment he
above
gets to meet him.
emotion. He's not above emotion at any
The
time.
first time Umeed and him interact, he thinks he's getting mugged.
Yeah.
He's not in control
भाई
of the
साहब
situation.
भाई साहब जो लेना है ले ले मेरा नुकसान बस प्लीज भाई
He's not in control. It's not like Umeed runs into him and he's immediately like this person who's in control. He's
exactly
not.
yeah
He's not in control of a situation. He wants, like, when
he
he
was
runs
just a
after
mature
Umeed.
adult
He runs
he's
after
a mature
Umeed.
adult
He's like when he's walking down the stairs, he runs
yeah
after Umeed. You know,
yeah
he catches up to him. She catches up to her. When he catches up to her, she smiles at him. Like she knows what he's doing. She's flattered by
exactly
what he's doing.
yeah
He's flattered by the fact that she's flattered by what he's doing. Right? When the elevator opens and she steps into it,
yeah
he doesn't feel embarrassed later. He smiles.
he's
Yeah.
like that's
He
fine like
calls her. He
I'm
calls
not
her. He's like,
embarrassed
अभी शेड्यूल नहीं हुआ ना, मतलब क्या कहते हैं भाड़ में जाने का, और whatever. Like he makes it work
हाँ
at his own expense,
हाँ
to keep her
yeah
alive for 2 minutes longer. He's
and
okay.
this is something that works because it's been set up at the start right like
Yeah,
the sagudana scene ठीक है like
yeah.
माँ इसको क्यों बता रही है मेरा
Money was
sagudana
करो.
खाना है मैं इसे क्यों बता रही हूँ sagudana or like when he's like receptionist जब सुन रही होती he's like ऐसा बोलो तुम्हारे रिसेप्शन
Yeah,
वाला भी उस दिन like मेरे ऊपर हंस रहा था
yeah,
and he's so conscious about like like putting on those shades when he's like jumped off and
yeah.
like
He
any
had to
part
feel
like
that
when
as a
he's
mixed
like
glue.
अपने बाल set करना and everything and being very conscious like the whole hydra facial thing right it's such a small thing like and I love it because he's not embarrassed of the fact that he got a hydra facial he's not like he's like हाँ मैंने कराया hydra facial कराया मैं glow कर रहा हूँ ठीक है मैं कर रहा हूँ
No,
like
even when he's like he's on the ground, he's like he's always more animated around Umeed, right? Like जब तक मेरे पास
yeah
होती है मैं इंसान कराती हूँ, मुझसे दूर आ करो.
loser की
And like his mom
and
is like, अच्छा फटा
the
तुम खड़े हो.
first the first time even his mom is like taken aback when he's like और फिर उसके अल्फाज है जो हथौड़े की तरह होते हैं और वो हथौड़े मेरे सर पे बरसाती है and like she's like okay she's like okay chill and like when Mimi is like फिर झूठ बोलती है झूठी like
पहले
it's
खुद
like
बोलती है, छुट्टी, फिर धमकी देती है,
assumptions करती है खुद overthink करती है फिर झूठ बोलती है झूठी
छुट्टी.
यार I think it's very concerning how we can like quote this show by memory
But like that's what I'm saying, right? Like Farjaad, Farjaad can be asked कि आपकी बेगम है. And he'd blush. It's like Jesus, you मेरी बेगम है.
and yeah, acha, Hamza Sohail was amazing in this scene, by the way. The way he looks down and he was like, Jesus, really? And like, he needs to give himself a minute because like,
Yeah, he's amused by what she's said to this man. He's amused by the fact that he's here as her husband. He's laughing at like what like that the fact that this girl is crazy, that she's like, how do you end up in this situation? He's so happy in that moment.
also like the part where he says अपने बेटे के लिए and he's so quick on his feet. He's like, जी
नाम नहीं
क्या
नाम
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 नहीं बताया आपको
not even
बेटे
quick
का
on his feet. He's like अपने लिए नहीं तो अपने बेटे के लिए. And he takes this moment. He's like, जी क्या नाम बताया था उन्होंने? And he's like, and then he glances at the lockup, like like क्या है ये?
like ये
He
क्या करती
glances
है
at the lockup to like, and he's like नाम नहीं बताया उन्होंने. And he's like बता दो, बहुत कुछ रही थी. मैंने चुप करा दिया. He's like फरमीद नाम है बेटे का.
and like the way he says acha, I love that they could have played it off like he's like exhausted or like slightly annoyed but they
No,
play it as like a happy kind of हाँ जी sir क्या करें हो गई है
भाई
मोहब्बत
मोहब्बत.
and it's such a man in love kind of thing to
Also,
say
I love that scene because it's such a classic partners in crime scene. You know,
yeah
like when he's just like बेगमें तो होती ऐसी हैं, बहुत बोलती हैं. He's being an uncle who thinks he's the wisest man in the room,
yeah
and in front of him sits this boy who's whipped in love with this girl. You
and
know,
it's like you don't know what you're talking about
he is so in love with this girl. ठीक है? And like he knows this girl has played this uncle, and I am here to rescue her from that situation she's created. He knows she's played him. He's
yeah
sitting there, and he's like, "जी sir, सही
and
कह
he
रहे हैं आप."
doesn't feel the need to prove anything to
No,
prove that
he
he's
doesn't.
wrong to prove that he's smarter
Yeah, they could have also shown him as him participating in like this
exactly
thing of like जी सर वो ऐसी है क्या करूं मैं.
ऐसे ही है इस तरह ही सर खाती nothing like that. It's just like I need to focus on what's important, which is to get my wife out.
ऑल्सो लाइक ही नोज कि ये लड़की बहुत बोलती है, हम बात
हाँ,
करके सर पे उठा लिया था, ऑफ कोर्स उठा लिया होगा, ये उम्मीद है, लाइक यू नो ऑफ कोर्स बोल
and
रही
he's
होगी.
proud of it. Like let's be
And
real,
like
he's
he
proud
keeps
of it.
telling her कि तुम बहुत बोलती
हाँ,
हो.
हाँ,
He doesn't give the police uncle that.
हाँ, he
These
doesn't.
बहुत बोलती हैं.
Yeah,
No.
nothing like that.
He's on her
And
team
he's
at
just
this
like,
moment.
gee,
जी
gee.
सर, सही कह
Like
रहे हैं आप.
he's just trying to get through the, and which is why he's the one who says, जी अगर आप इजाजत दें तो
जब तो
मैं
मैं अपनी बेगम को ले
ले
जाऊँ.
लूँ. हाँ,
और also there was
like
no
he's,
need to call her begum a second time.
there was no
That
need.
was just for his personal enjoyment.
Yep, yep.
There was no need to call her a begum a second time. That was just for his personal enjoyment.
ये यहाँ like self indulgence भी तो हो रही थी next level किस्म की.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying, right? Like the reason this works is because you can see that he's not in this moment where she calls him as her husband. Of course,
Yeah.
he's smug. He deserves to be. You know, like you called me your husband. Like here I am.
Yeah.
He's smug, but he's not playing her savior.
Oh, he's
He's
also
so
not playing his
happy
savior.
to be here.
And not just that, but also like he doesn't use it in a weird kind of way, right? Like he does it like in a I'm happy you did this, not a now I have something over you. That's
No,
not what's happening.
no, not even now have something over you in a way of like, you know, like क्या हो यार तुम? कौन?
हाँ,
Not
हाँ,
one word. Not one
not
word.
one.